Hello everyone, this is Grace. It is October the 5th, 2023, and we're going to be discussing the tithe in this video. And I had made mention of the tithe in a previous video, and I was not planning on doing this study, but the more I was just going to leave some scriptures to reference. But I started watching videos online, and I realized that you all already have all of the scriptures. You have all the scriptures for the tithe. You just, for some reason, well, not for some reason, for good reasons, I guess, you have all brainwashed yourselves into not believing the scriptures. And I understand. I understand. There's a good reason. You see all of these con artists and the people that you believe are cheating people out of their money, and they're flying expensive airplanes and driving expensive cars, and you know, I get it. I get it. But because it's not without cause. Almost all of the scriptures that I found, almost all of them are lies. You have to look at the pictures. And the pictures tell a completely different story than the scriptures. So it's not without cause, but you kind of pushed back too hard. You pushed back too hard, and so you're ignoring the truth that's given in the illustrations because it's there. So we're going to be looking at some of the illustrations, and then we're going to go look at what's written as well in the first 5 books of the Bible about tithes. And they're not going to match up, I'm going to tell you that right now. But we're going to go with people's lived experiences. That's what we're going to go with. Because when we look at what's given as instructions, it just does not make any sense. It's just a bunch of babble. So, we're going to start off with Melchizedek. Abraham and Melchizedek. Let's start here. Genesis 14, and then we'll move on into Hebrew and look at the scriptures there that are pertaining to this event here. We'll start at 17. And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter. This is after Lot had been, after Abraham's cousin had been captured along with the king of Sodom and the people of Sodom. And they had been taken into captivity, and Abraham and his men went and freed them. They went to war and they freed them. So, and the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Chedorlaomer, and of the kings that were with him at the valley of Shaveh, which is the king's dale. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abraham of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth. And blessed be the Most High God, which has delivered thine enemies into thy hand. And he gave him 10 tithes of all. So we see Abraham gave Melchizedek tithes of all. And the king of Sodom said unto Abraham, Give me the persons, and take thy goods to thyself. Hold on. Okay, I think that's all we need from this. Okay, so let's go to Hebrew. Now consider how great this man was, to whom even they're speaking of Melchizedek. Here, let's read up here. For this Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High God, who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him, to whom also Abraham gave a tenth part of all, first being interpreted king of righteousness, and after that also king of Salem, which is king of peace. Without father, without mother, without descent, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but made like unto the Son of God, abideth a priest continually. Now this is the part that pertains to us. Now consider how great this man was, unto whom even the patriarch Abraham gave the tenth of the spoils. And verily, they that are the sons of Levi, who receive the office of the priesthood. So he's saying, well, let's continue. Have a command to take tithes of the people according to the law, that is, of their brethren, though they come out of the loins of Abraham. But he whose descent is not counted from them received tithes from Abraham and blessed him that had the promises. And without all contradictions, the less is blessed of the better. And here men that die receive tithes, but there he receiveth them, of whom it is witness that he liveth. This is, and I don't know who wrote Hebrew. I'm just going to say it's Paul. I know I'm going to get some kickback from that. I need a name just to refer to. Okay, I don't really know who wrote it. But, so actually, no, I don't. So here the author is acknowledging that the tenth of the spoils was the tithe. People want to say it's not the tithe, but he's clearly saying it is. You can't undo that because you don't want it to be a tithe. It's a tithe. You can't say it's not a tithe because it's not corn or oil or wine. You would simply add it to the corn or oil or wine. That would be the natural thing. This is what I meant when I said you pushed back too hard. You can't undo what's being said. You have to try to unbrainwash yourself. And I understand why you want to do it. And you have the law, which has been manipulated, and you've been lied to. Almost all of, wait a minute. Not all of them. 30 to 40% of one. The entire thing is just lies. Just the entire section is lies. But there's so many lies mixed in that it's just, when you have the stories here that are clear, you don't just get to ignore those. That's not, I just don't see that as being the wisest thing to do. But I understand. And verily, they that are the sons of Levi, who receive the office of the priesthood. Another thing we're going to address, not in this video, but I have this highlighted for the other video, and I didn't realize I was using it twice. But is that there's a claim that pastors don't receive because they're not of Levi, and that was all done away with. This whole thing, and I'm going to have to address it at some time in the future, this whole thing about the previous books no longer being applicable to the people of God today, the law no longer being applicable to the people of God today. Wait, I said that. I obviously should not have said that. I'm sure I was misunderstood, as popular as that term is. The law is applicable today. That's the only thing you have to compare yourself to. Listen, if you do away with the law, how do you know what's good and right? Who are you comparing yourself to? What are you comparing yourself to? I'm okay because I'm not a murderer? Is that the standard? Well, who's the murderer comparing himself to? Because he doesn't think he's bad. I'm okay. At least I'm not black. Who's the black man comparing himself to? Does it end? The law is what you look at in order to determine where you're supposed to be. You're not going to be better by looking at what's worse. You're going to become worse. You're going to think you're okay. You don't know how messed up you are until you see the law and how good and righteous and pure it is. That's what convicts you. And you don't stop being convicted once you become a Christian. You become more sensitive to your flaws as a Christian, not less. Those self-help preachers that are telling you, ignore that voice inside you. No, you're ignoring the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is trying to convict you to stop doing that, to stop doing wrong. You need that voice. That voice is what's trying to keep you on the right path. To say that the laws don't apply is, I don't know who you're following. It's not Jesus. You've already written off him and his prophets. He never said anything after he died. Well, I didn't check. I don't know. But I know that the majority of what he said was said before he died. The parables, almost all the parables, if not all of them, the Beatitudes, the blessings, all of that before Jesus died. I wish I would have checked, but it's too late for that now. So, and verily, they that are is a present tense. This is after Jesus died. They that are of the sons of Levi who receive, present tense, the office of the priesthood, have a commandment to take tithes. They were still taking tithes of the people according to the law that is, according to the law that is of their brethren, though they come out of the loins of Abraham. He acknowledges that it's tithes. He acknowledges that the 10% of what Abraham gave was tithes. You can't undo that because of the wrongs and the abuses that people are taking with the law. It doesn't change it. And then he goes right back to the past tense here. So present tense, past tense. It's not a mistake. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say in this video. Oh, yep. I just need to come down here. Oh, wait. No, that's for another video. I may have to repeat all of this because anyway, that's this lesson, because I'm breaking everything up into small parts because I don't want to have to redo anything, because I really wasn't planning on doing the study. I was just planning on writing down some scriptures. So that's all that I have for this video, but I will talk with you more about tithes in the next video.